So get this, Donald Trump isn't just ignoring Diddy's legal troubles. He's allegedly making moves behind the scenes to make them worse. That's right. According to insiders, Trump didn't just turn his back on his old buddy, he's now reportedly pushing for the maximum sentence possible in Diddy's federal case. And the craziest part? That push might actually be working. See, this whole thing didn't start in court, it started with a falling out. There was a time when Trump and Diddy ran in the same circles, backstage at flashy events, schmoozing at parties, making headlines together. Trump even went on record calling Diddy a good guy, said he'd always stick up for him. But somewhere along the way, that bromance shattered, and now Trump's apparently using every ounce of power he still has to make sure Diddy pays hard. The reason? Word is Trump felt personally betrayed. Back when he launched his political career, Diddy didn't just stay quiet. He openly trashed Trump in interviews, called him out, made it known that he wasn't backing him, not now, not ever. That rubbed Trump the wrong way, especially after years of playing nice in public. And now, Trump is reportedly holding that grudge like a loaded weapon. Let's talk about the courtroom drama. Diddy's already been convicted on 2 serious charges under the Mann Act, basically transporting people across state lines for illegal activity. Heavy stuff. Each count carries up to 10 years, so that's a possible 20 years behind bars, and this ain't some minor slap on the wrist situation. Now here's where things go from bad to catastrophic. Legal experts originally thought Diddy might catch a break. First-time offender, high profile already, spent a lot of time behind bars. Some said he might just get time served or even probation. But once Trump allegedly got involved, that changed everything. Insiders say Judge Aaron, the one presiding over Diddy's case, has been noticeably stricter ever since Trump made his stance public. Diddy's legal team filed 5 separate bail requests, all denied. And it wasn't for lack of trying. They even offered a jaw-dropping $50 million 0-cents bond backed by Diddy's own Miami mansion. Still got rejected. The judge called him a flight risk and a danger to the community. Harsh words, especially for someone who hasn't even been sentenced yet. But wait, it gets even messier. Behind closed doors, Diddy's team was allegedly scrambling to secure a presidential pardon before Trump's cold shoulder froze everything. They were hopeful they had history. Trump had pardoned people before, NBA YoungBoy, the Grizzlies, even January 6 rioters. Diddy's camp thought, we've got a shot. But instead, Trump reportedly slammed the door in their face. Why the flip? That's the million-dollar question. Some say Diddy made it worse for himself. By trying to play dirty, rumors flew that Diddy had dirt on Trump. Serious dirt. Allegedly, he tried to use it as leverage to force a pardon, blackmail essentially, but it backfired spectacularly. If anything, it made Trump even more aggressive. No more backroom deals, no more favors, just full-blown war. And let's not forget the Epstein whispers. Elon Musk tossed gasoline on that fire when he tweeted, then deleted, that Trump's name was on Epstein's infamous files. That tweet, it sent the internet into meltdown. Trump denied it, of course, calling it old news. But if Diddy really was dangling something tied to that list, yeah, you can imagine the fury that would unleash from Trump's side. So now, Diddy's legal dream has turned into a nightmare. And the judge looks ready to bring the hammer down, hard. What really blew the lid off this whole thing was how fast Diddy's confidence collapsed. Just weeks ago, his legal team was practically strutting around like they had something up their sleeve. Whispers of a pardon were floating through back channels. Some folks even claimed Diddy had already lined up a quiet meeting with Trump's inner circle. There were murmurs of donations being discussed, political favors exchanged, real shady backroom chess. But then the energy shifted, and not in his favor. See, the streets started talking, and when they talk, they yell. Word was that Diddy might have gone too far, that he wasn't just asking for a favor, he was allegedly threatening to expose things. The rumor mill says he had collected some serious dirt on multiple public figures. Names like Oprah, Gayle King, and even high-level politicians started surfacing. Allegedly, Diddy was dropping those names in conversations with federal agents, trying to wheel and deal his way into a lighter sentence or even a clean slate. Now, it's one thing to cooperate with the feds, but trying to play the feds and the president, that's a suicide mission, and insiders say Trump saw right through it. What might have started as a calculated move for self-preservation turned into the very reason Trump flipped the switch on him. Allegedly, Trump took it as a personal attack, like Diddy was trying to pull rank, flexing as if he had the power to twist the president's arm. If that wasn't bad enough, there's the public. Let's not act like they were rooting for Diddy in the first place. A petition calling on Trump not to pardon him shot past 11,000 signatures almost overnight. People were furious. They didn't care about his music legacy. They didn't care about his philanthropy. All they saw was a man convicted on serious charges and trying to wiggle out of it with fame and money. That didn't sit right. So any political goodwill Diddy might have had, gone. And then there's the judge. Judge Aaron has become a brick wall for Diddy's defense team. After rejecting the massive $50 million 0 cents bond, the judge made it crystal clear he believes Diddy is both a danger and a flight risk. No sugarcoating, no loopholes. And that wasn't all. Diddy's attorneys made a desperate move, filing a motion to either toss out the verdict or demand a new trial altogether. They argued that the case was unique, that there was no clear commercial motive, that all parties involved were adults, consenting, and uncoerced. The judge didn't buy it. He hasn't ruled officially yet, but people close to the case say the atmosphere is tense and not in a good way for Diddy. Everyone's reading between the lines. The stricter court language, the refusal to grant bail, the cold tone in hearings, it's all pointing toward a harsh sentence. Some say Judge Aaron is feeling the political pressure, that Trump's stance, whether official or not, has added an invisible weight to every decision made from the bench. But the wildest part of it all, Diddy was this close to walking free. There was a time not long ago when legal experts were saying probation was a real possibility, that he might serve just a few more months, maybe none at all. But now, with the president reportedly urging the court to throw the book at him and a public that's flat out disgusted by the whole thing, Diddy isn't counting down the days to freedom anymore. He's bracing for a sentence that could last the rest of his life. The real heartbreak for Diddy is how quickly everything he built is crumbling around him. This isn't just about a prison sentence anymore. It's the total collapse of an empire. Bad Boy Records, the fashion lines, the brand deals, the celebrity connections, all of it's turning to dust in real time. Once hailed as a cultural icon and business mogul, Diddy now finds himself isolated, with even his closest allies backing away like the walls are radioactive. Behind the scenes, the retreat has been brutal. Sponsors have quietly pulled out, corporate partners have distanced themselves, nobody wants to be caught in the blast radius. Even former collaborators, the ones who used to proudly shout him out on stage or post throwbacks on social media, have gone silent. It's like everyone's racing to erase their connection before the hammer officially drops. In the court of public opinion, Diddy has already lost. The paranoia inside his circle is another story. Those closest to him are reportedly panicked, trying to clean up whatever digital or legal trails still exist. Allegedly, there are people within his team who believe that once the full details of the case go public, especially if trial transcripts or sealed records leak, it could spark an even bigger firestorm. One insider put it bluntly, if those files hit the internet, it's over for more people than just Diddy. Then there's the rumor about the plea deal that never happened. According to sources familiar with the case, federal prosecutors initially floated a possible agreement: serve a few years, stay quiet, and walk away with minimal long-term damage. But Diddy, confident that a pardon was coming, allegedly rejected it. He thought he had the leverage. He thought the game was still being played on his terms. Now he's facing 20 years, no deal in sight, and a judge who seems in no mood for leniency. What makes it even more surreal is how differently this all could have played out. If Diddy had kept quiet, avoided the power plays, maybe even issued a public apology and leaned into damage control, he might have had a shot. But instead, he chose a path of defiance, allegedly tried to manipulate both political and legal systems, and underestimated just how fast those same systems can turn on someone when the public's fed up. The final nail? That might be the surveillance footage the prosecution hinted at during the last hearing. Nothing's been confirmed, but court observers claim that sealed exhibits include disturbing visuals tied directly to the charges. If that footage ever sees the light of day, it won't just end Diddy's legacy. It could ignite a wider conversation about who knew what and when. Because where there's one downfall, there's usually a trail. Meanwhile, Trump isn't saying much anymore. After those early remarks that made headlines, calling Diddy sort of half innocent, then pivoting to highlight the betrayal, he's gone quiet. Some say it's strategic. Others believe the Epstein whispers rattled him more than he let on. But what's clear is this: Trump made his position known, and the judge heard it loud and clear. Now, with the sentencing date closing in, the mood is grim. Diddy isn't hosting lavish parties or making bold public statements anymore. He's sitting in a cell, surrounded by lawyers, staring down the reality that everything he once was, music mogul, media darling, cultural powerhouse, might soon be reduced to just another inmate number. No entourage, no exits, just a name fading into history, one court order at a time.